Welcome business owners, my name is Dana Ball and I am a small business attorney in the state of Utah, and I'm coming to you today to talk about LLCs. But first, I'd like to let you know that we are here to help you face reality with running your business and hopefully get you out of your comfort zone a little bit. So what are we talking about with LLCs? The question of the day is, you've registered your LLC, so now what? So we are not talking about registering an LLC, setting up an LLC, or choosing between an LLC and a corporation. If you need that information, we have some other videos that you can search through our YouTube channel and find those. Today we are simply focusing on what happens now. You've got it registered, now what? Are you protected? Does your LLC deserve liability protection? Well, it's so common. We run into people so frequently who have registered their LLC and they think they're good, but they're not. They don't realize that there is a very important key element to deserving that liability protection, and it's called maintenance. You have to maintain that LLC. If you do not maintain it correctly, then if somebody decides to file a lawsuit against your company, they'll be able to pierce the corporate veil and get right through to your personal assets. So you will not deserve liability protection if you're not being careful with maintenance. So if you have registered your LLC, pay attention, because this will help you to understand what additional things you need to be thinking about and doing to maintain your LLC. So if you don't, you're risking your business assets, you're risking your personal assets. So the whole purpose of setting up a legal entity is to protect your assets, whether it's the business or your personal. You don't want people coming and suing you and being able to take your home or your personal bank accounts, let alone your business. So here are some examples. If you fail to be able to prove that you yourself are a separate being from your LLC, we want to be able to show that you have separated yourself from the LLC. Registration, like I said, is not enough. So if you fail to maintain, that means maybe you haven't renewed your registration on a yearly basis and it has become inactive. Keep your bank accounts separate. So your personal and your business need to have their own bank accounts. Maybe you're not signing contracts on behalf of the LLC. Maybe you're signing them just under your name. You need to be careful about how you sign anything for the company, because if you continue to sign contracts under your individual name, that can be used as evidence to show, hey, you're really not separate from your individual self. This company is the same thing as you. You have not separated. Okay, and the final, and this is the biggest thing, is documentation. So what is documentation? And that's truly our focus today. It starts with what we call an operating agreement. Now this is specifically to an LLC. If you have a corporation, then watch another video, because there is different documentation for a corporation. Okay, your operating agreement must be tailor fit to your company. You cannot download these forms from the internet. The internet is not an attorney. It cannot give you legal advice. Only an attorney can give you legal advice that is licensed in your state. So if you have a business in Utah, I can give you legal advice about drafting an operating agreement that is specific to your type of business, your expectations with the business, and how you run your business, the operations. It needs to be tailor fit. It cannot be just a template or another operating agreement that you borrowed from another company that's similar to yours. It really will set you up to fail, and that is risky to do that. All right. So an operating agreement is key, whether you are a single member LLC or whether you have multiple members. We have another video that you can watch specifically about operating agreements, but that is the first document that you need to have to show that you've separated yourself from the LLC. Next, we focus on consent forms. So initially we do a consent form that gives you powers. So it names you as an officer of the company And in conjunction with your operating agreement, you are now being elected using a consent form. So it's just documenting that you, the owner, is not only a member, but you're now the president. So you have an officer title. With that title, the members or member have elected you to represent yourself on behalf of the company, to open up bank accounts, to secure business loans, to sign contracts. So now the consent form, the initial one, is really important because it allows you to go and actually run the business and get it set up. Then going forward, you need to document, you need to write down on consent forms any major business decision. So as an attorney, I want you to document everything. I want you to write down everything. So we give our clients a template to use, and every time you have a business decision that you could possibly document, you could print up that template and just fill in the space that where you need to fill it in. So the template's already prepared, ready, you just need to fill it in and then sign it. So what are some things that you could be documenting? Well, what if you decide to move the location of your business? What if you decide to lease a new location and you want to document that on behalf of the business, you have the best interests of the business, you are going to move it from this location to this location, and you now have the authority to sign a lease for, and you could put briefly what the terms are of the lease. Taking out a business loan can be documented. Giving employees bonuses, deciding on a new bonus system, or maybe hiring a key employee. Maybe you want to assign some management duties to that key employee. Terminating an employee could be documented and the reasons why. Leasing equipment is another good one to document. There are so many things you could document. Those are just some examples. So at the end of the day, you cannot control other people. Imagine that. But as the business owner, you are the only one in control of how you run your business. And it's worth protecting your business. So as the business owner, you can decide now to make sure that you've got the proper documentation in place to be able to prove that you deserve that liability protection. Okay, question I'd like to end on. Do you have an operating agreement? And are you documenting business decisions? Thank you so much for joining us.